You know what I hate? Being put in the box. You know what the meta is? Being put in the box. Every meta champion is designed to do one thing, and to do that one thing very effectively. Whether that be doing damage, healing damage, doing damage, tanking damage, doing damage, global support, doing damage, doing damage, doing damage, you get the idea. And if you're like me, you wish you could do everything and not have to worry about your team lacking some je ne sais quoi. And that can only come in the form of one champion. I mean Udyr. Yeah, this is the end-all be-all champion of jack of all trades and master of none. You got your damage, you got your shields and heals, CC, speed, and teamfight presence, all done at an incredibly mediocre level. But if he does all of that at an incredibly mediocre level, and I mean seriously, what are these numbers even? How is he good? Well, it's because he can fit into literally any missing team slot that you have. Hey, what do you call a guy with no nose and no body? Nobody knows. Your team's missing an assassin? Don't worry, he's got you covered. Enemy team looking a bit too tanky? Baby, this R is a fucking microwave. Your support isn't really a support? He can fill that too. AP, AD, tank, support, hybrid, John Deere, he does it all. Where Udyr differs from other champions is that he doesn't have an ultimate. His passive kind of functions like an ultimate. It's sort of like a Karma R where it just upgrades your other abilities, except it doesn't take up an ability slot. In my opinion, this is one of the most ingeniously designed abilities in the game just because it fits Udyr so well, and it's the thing that old Udyr was missing. You see, what it does is it makes your pretty basic abilities fucking awesome! Awaken Q and 1v1s become a thing of the past. Awaken your W and you give yourself a Shenar and a Soraka heal over time. Awaken your E and make ADCs shit themselves, and awaken your R to make yourself the master of teamfights. What do a Tick and the Eiffel Tower have in common? They're both parasites. This is one of the only champions in the game whose gameplay changes depending on his leveling. If you're a completely boring Udyr player, you would level your abilities like this. This is the safest and most boring way to play Udyr. And if you really want to turn it down to -1, you buy these items. But Udyrs with experience know exactly what to do in specific situations. If you're juggling, you're always going to be maxing one of your damaging abilities first to increase your clear speed. If the enemy team is slow but does a lot of damage, you max your W second, but if you're having trouble catching up, you'd max E second. And in some situations, you put 3 points in E or W and then max them out respectively, since 3 points in either one is a pretty significant buff. What do you call a factory that makes okay products? A satisfactory. The stat joke bit is just going to get more annoying as we go on. But if you want a quick cheat sheet on when and how to max your abilities, here you go. Each of these has their own strengths, so if you're first timing Udyr, it's pretty helpful. And if you find yourself wanting to play more Udyr, you should always experiment and see what maxing order works for what matchup and what team comp. Maxing correctly on Udyr is essential and can be game changing. And when you do get it right, it can feel so awesome.
Rise now, stand and fight. Take your freedom, claim your right. Rise now, stand and say, storm my castle, kill my king. Rise now, stand and fight. Take your freedom, claim your right. Rise now, stand and say, storm my castle, kill the king. Rise now, stand and fight. Take your freedom, claim your right. Rise now, stand and say, storm the castle, kill the king.
Have you heard about the new chocolate record player? It sounds pretty sweet. But maxing your abilities is only the surface of Udyr. Runes and items can also significantly change your gameplay. Conqueror is the box standard just because it gives Udyr a lot of good, but runes like Glacial Augment make you inescapable and provide defense for your team. Predator gives you a lot more leeway when it comes to chasing someone or ganking. Phase Rush lets you keep up with people in case they flash away and can even let you escape in tight situations. Fleet Footwork gives you sustain and can make you a lot slipperier in fights, letting you dodge skill shots. Grasp is great for 1v1ing in top lane. Guardian is surprisingly useful for keeping your team alive to let them take kills before they die. Electrocute and Dark Harvest both give you a surprising amount of burst that can catch people off guard when fighting. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Literally every rune can work with Udyr when used correctly. I guess you could call Udyr Andrew Gower since you get because he made RuneScape and you can run a lot of runes on Udyr. I feel like I'm going to be the only person that gets this joke. Instead of adding another 5 minutes to this video, I'm just going to give you some of my favorite item sets and builds to run on this guy. Fun fact, I just know 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. You got your standard AD build, your standard AP build, hybrid build, John Deere, item haste Udyr, and my personal favorite, the D-Gate special. Why couldn't the bicycle stand up by itself? It was too tired. Is Udyr strong? Fuck no. He has some very glaring weaknesses, like the fact that he's solely melee and has no skill shots. He gets kited pretty easily, pops like a fucking balloon in the early game, and his only gap closer is also his only escape tool. His 1v1ing can be devastating in certain situations, but he gets bodied by champions like Trundle, Nocturne, and Gragas since they all have something that completely disables him. Why can't a nose be 12 inches long? Because then it would be a foot. At the end of the day, he's exactly the same as old Udyr. Like, the rework might have given him some buffs, but still, he's just Udyr. He's melee only, he's strong in certain situations, but his key factor is that he's a fucking dickhead. That's all he's designed to be, is a dickhead who either split pushes lanes, 1v1s you to high hell, or just like is unkillable. Every Udyr main knows, myself included, that the peak of this character is when you can literally stand in front of the enemy team and BM because you don't give a fuck. That's what Udyr is. That's true fear. It's just not giving a fuck, standing in front of the enemy and laughing your ass off, and then living somehow. Yep, that's Udyr. Bye-bye. Okay, last one, I swear. You guys probably already know this one. A man and his child are standing on a hilltop. He says to his son, "Son, do you see our house over there? I built that house with my bare hands. But do they call me Bob the house builder? No, they don't." He then says, "Son, do you see this wall surrounding our village? I built that wall. But do they call me Bob the wall builder? No, they don't." You fuck one goat and you're labeled for life.